Welcome to Dan ARG YouTube. Comrade Stanley Osazo Sakwunokwudi say a lot of people dey face multiple tasks for Edo State. They wan use tasks dey finish Edo people in the name of revenue collection. Comrade Stanley Osazo Sakwunokwudi talk so many things for this video wey you dey watch. Try watch am from beginning to the end. Make I leave you now, make you hear from Comrade Stanley Osaze Sakwunokwudi. Enjoy the video.
Obaseki increased the revenue in this state without cutting off people's neck. I was languished when as at today, in my area at the bypass, we do not have National Union of Road Transport worker before. As we speak today, multiple taxation everywhere. Even when the cost of petroleum product is reducing, the cost of transportation is increasing because of multiple taxation and the unleashed terror by some selected elements in the name of revenue collectors. For how long shall we continue to engage ourselves in this form of economic kokadu-dodu? For how long shall we continue to engage ourselves in this kind of economic kokadu-dodu? Ask yourself a simple question. Obaseki on his part was able to create.
Here this Comrade Stanley Osazo Sakwunokwudi, by the grace of God, the CFO man Edo State, the Coordinator General Edo Diaspora Connect Worldwide. I'm very happy to find myself this evening. As you can see, I'm also called the reflective man because this is my emblem. I just rounded up work activity and I said, let me take some level of rest. And in the form of realization, I find myself within the purview of this territory. I want to say a very big thank you to all and sundry, specifically Edo people around the world, on the basis of the fact that you guys have been so supportive, in spite of our political affiliation and orientation. We try as much as possible to manage ourselves. It is also true that we must agree at the same time disagree. When we have diverse opinion, we have a way of managing ourselves, regardless of whatever we think or what is our thought in respect to a specific activity. We also recognize the fact that each and individual has the right to their opinion and perception. The whole of us cannot place our eggs on a specific basket, which simply implies that every one of us cannot face the same area. That's why we have divergence view in our various opinions. You should also agree to the fact that as a result of the fact that we live in our society today, and majority of persons, most like those who are not an indigenous of Edo, that have spent so many years in Edo, has played a pivotal role in ensuring the development of our loving state. It is on this note that we also agree to the fact that the Benin metropolis is more or less like a melting pot of all races. Because of the heterogeneous nature of this settlement, because of the level of heterogeneity that plays in our settlement, we agree to the fact that there must be divergent views and opinions. But regardless, our focus, our focal point must be geared towards speedy development, economic growth, also peace and tranquility. And again, even if we expect development impulses to spread around all nooks and crannies of our dear state, it is not going to be a twinkle of an eye. I have been saying this before now, and I'm going to repeat it again. 10 administration of 8 good years cannot fix the problem of Edo, even if each of this administration refused to take a dime from the state coffer. The problems are numerous. But the truth is this: what we are soliciting for as a people is to have the right political will to actually address the problem that is plaguing or militating against our society today. And I've seen a situation where some group of people try to intimidate us, try to make us feel that what we supported openly in the past, they want us to come out openly to renounce it. Let me tell you the simple truth. Integrity, or when you say good conscience, go and check section 2 of the Evidence Act. Somebody who engages his or herself in doing what is right
cannot be considered as a good person, or person that choose to continue to do what is right at all time. Is not enough reason to measure the good quality of such a person. Your level of integrity and your level of goodness can better be measured if you are aware of what is good and what is bad, and you simply adhere to what is good. Let me give a classical example. A man or a young man or a young woman that is under the auspices of a guardian will always do everything humanly possible to please the conscience of the guardian. But when these persons are given the opportunity to live freely without any form of guardian, the question is, will this person do what is right? So it is the awareness of what is good and what is bad, and simply adhere to what is good. In our society today, some group of persons, specifically members of the All Progressive Congress, who actually engage us in both media fight, propaganda, all in all put together to malign the image of a man who brought in technological development in Edo political space. But as of today, this same set of persons cannot and will never swallow the level of criticism that they dished out, the level of intimidation. They express their opinion without qualm. But today, whenever you see anything, whenever you do anything, you are being threatened in one way or the other. Is this supposed to be so? What is the core paraphernalia of democracy? It involves the right of citizenry to express their opinion freely. But today in our country, we have a situation where you have a right to freedom of speech, but you don't have a right to freedom after speech. In Abraham Lincoln Gettysburg speech of 1863, he defines democracy as the government of the people, by the people, and for the people, which is the ruling of the few down to the ruling of the many. Is the core principle of democratic tenet applicable to what is obtainable today? Let us look at the general enclave, the Nigerian state. Is it actually applicable? Now let us trickle it down to Edo State. Let me tell us the basic fact. We have the right to our individual opinion. For the fact that you choose to be part and parcel of politics, you must be ready, and you must also have the self-purification mechanism, the defense mechanism to protect yourself, because certainly for the fact that your voice, your views and opinion is not in consensus at the end with my own opinion or the opinions of others, certainly there must be a political backlash. But we must also learn to manage ourselves expeditiously, so that at the end of the day, regardless of whatever you choose to support, you must also understand that there are rights and privileges of each individual, and we have a right and reserve such rights as a bona fide citizens of Edo, as far as we are concerned, constitutionally, and as a result of our indigenous affiliation. We reserve the rights whatsoever to express our opinion without qualm in our states. Edo is a liberal state. Edo is a state that gives opportunity to all and sundry to strive. I see some certain persons who are handling Edo people in Edo State. Check their historical antecedents. Check their history. Check their affiliation. They are not even a descendant of the Edo extraction, but they are very free to express their opinion. They will even want to intimidate an Edo man in Edo State, even if we choose to remain quiet, because of the fact that we believe in the principle of democracy, because of the fact that Edos are totally accommodative. We must also recognize the fact that there are limits to which individual can take this kind of menace. Now, let me go to the discussion proper. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. If peradventure the likes of Osahunokudi come out publicly to say, Mayor Baseki, go sit down, people will clap for me, people will greet me, people will also salute me. But the truth is, those persons you are doing it for, to malign the image of the one who you worked with, will never trust you. That is why I continue to see the activity of Jamayaki as an age-bage interaction. An age-bage, excuse me. Hello. Age-bage interaction. We must, as a matter of urgency, stand and stand firm. And we must also say the truth at all times. Now, I am called the political Mr. Fence in Edo State, and I am proud to be a Mr. Fence. Why am I called Mr. Fence? Regardless of my party, if something is wrong, I will tell you it is wrong. If it is right, I will tell you it is right. In the course of saying that, political extremists expect you to say it is right because of your party affiliation, even when it is wrong. Go to the United States of America. There are people who are members of the Republican Party that are not in agreement with President Donald Trump in respect to immigration-related activity. They come out to speak and resist it vehemently. But here in Nigeria, because you are a member of so and so political party, when you say this thing that my party is doing is totally wrong and it's unacceptable, they will say, this guy not just stand firm. No. If we continue like that, there will be no development. Those who on a daily basis continue to shout, we are batified, we are batified, we are batified. What would the Benin call the political ehien? The political ehien. When bat unleash such ehien in the eyes of those who supported him, they are dying in secret, but they cannot come out openly to say what our president we elected is doing is totally or is on the contrary with what we actually agreed on. You must also recognize the fact that this is your settlement. And if it is your settlement, this is your state. And if it is your state, the principle of quick whip latetor, solo said it must come into play. He who owns the land owns what is fixed and attached on the land. Now, let us go to Obaseki's proper. You know, when you want to baboozle people who does not understand what governance is all about, just begin to tie the old road. Then be jumping into gutter and be coming out. They don't care even if they cannot afford 2 square meals a day. For the fact that there is a man jumping into gutter, coming out, even if their money is being looted. They will say, the government they work. But let me quickly tell you. When you want to know a government that is truly sincere, a government that continues to tie ring road when you know that ring road is absolutely very okay, is not a sincere government. What happens to your rural communities? What happens to the road network in your rural communities? Why do you think that we have difficulties in terms of having access to food today? It's not that we don't have foods in our rural communities. Those who live in the rural area have access to fresh food. But you have the logistics and infrastructure to get this food to the urban setting for people to consume in the urban setting, even when the people in the urban area have access to the resources? The answer is no. Owing to the fact that your democratic infrastructure, your environmental infrastructure, your physical infrastructure is dilapidated. But what did Obaseki did? He went to your rural communities without looking for camera to show his activity at Ring Road. He created network system which led to the rise of our economy today. Now, I want to state this. A government comes into power. He begins to spend fixing road. Have you ever asked, how much has this government generated on its own? Are you acting as a nest of king that is spending the resources that have been placed on ground? Have you generated your own for us to see that you actually have the capacity to sustain the state, even with the absence or in the absence of federal allocation? Obaseki increased the revenue in this state without cutting off people's neck. I was languished when as of today, in my area at the bypass, we do not have National Union of Road Transport Worker before. As we speak today, multiple taxation everywhere. Even when the cost of petroleum product is reducing, the cost of transportation is increasing because of multiple taxation and the unleashed terror by some selected elements in the name of revenue collectors. For how long shall we continue to engage ourselves in this form of economic kokadu-dodu? For how long shall we continue to engage ourselves in this kind of economic kokadu-dodu? Ask yourself a simple question. Obaseki on his part was able to create a sustainable development in your local community. Now, What about e-governance? As we speak, ask question. E-gov. E-gov. The governor can be in Saudi Arabia and be managing the affair from within the purview of Edo State. And whereas he or she is outside the state at that particular point in time. Edo will also remember that Obaseki did not in any way come out to create advertisements to showcase that I've done this, I've done that. What he has done is speaking for itself. How about the economy today? As we speak, what about the management of COVID-19? Other states recognize the magnitude of the problem of COVID-19. Millions of persons have lost their life in the diaspora. And we were already afraid in Africa that we are going to be faced by this COVID-19 pandemic. And for the fact that we truly do not have the capacity whatsoever to stand it, don't also forget, the current COVID-19 that we are talking about is still the same bubonic plague that took place in Nigeria in 1920s. Why other governors, without thinking of what the citizen will face, they lock up their houses. They shut and they said, no movement. Governor Obaseki said, we will manage the COVID-19. At the same time, we will not give a total shutdown. Go and check the management of COVID-19. It is worth emulating by any government across the country. Let you wonder why Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu openly came out that he copied the Edo system from the Obaseki administration. Obaseki is gone. He's no longer the governor of the state. But it will be a disservice to me as an individual if, because of the fact that I'm concerned about stomach infrastructure, I refuse to say the truth in respect to the development of Obaseki. I will not criticize Okpebholo for now. But for me, I will watch him. Let me see. It's not about spending what you have on ground. Let me see the level of revenue generation. Let me also see the level of sincerity, management of human capacity. I will give it to Okpebholo in respect to engaging indigenous people in carrying out governance. I won't dispute that. I will give it to him. But what we are looking for is based on individual goals and competencies. Are they truly competent to manage the affair of what they are being given, or the appointment being dished out is purely on the basis of political gratification? Those are the core questions we need to ask as a people. But for now, we cannot continue to live in a full paradise where sycophants celebrate mediocrity. We must learn to speak out at all times. We must also be very, very constructive in our criticism. But for now, it is not up to the time for us to carry out criticism, but we are still watching. Our basic concern is we want to see the level of revenue generation. Why you are generating such revenue, you must put into cognizance the principle of conservation, which is using the resources of today to satisfy the interest of the people of today, while putting into cognizance the interest and collective destiny of generation yet unborn. That is also the principle of sustainability. Now, I want to state this very clear. We are interested in the development of Edo, and we should not be worried about whatever nomenclature or whatever orchestrated attack, maligned of image that is targeted towards you. But also get it clearly, that no matter how powerful you may be, you have no capacity whatsoever to keep posterity. Posterity will judge us all. Who actually is sincere enough to fix Edo, and who actually is working to salvage himself at the detriment of the collective destiny of our people. Nobody is perfect. There is no perfection in humanity. We try our possible best to try our best, and we try in the course of our trying to rest, and God eventually take care of the rest. God eventually take care of the rest. As said, though, people get it very clearly, and this is targeted to members of the All Progressive Congress. I saw a video made by Baroko. Baroko tried as much as possible to manage himself in totality. But for those of us who have the ability to read the psyche of people, we already know that Baroko is filled up with anger. But he made a statement that is contrary to from what he's believing. And I will tell you why such thing happens. Baroko said We are happy that our APC leaders are giving their children appointment. We expected them to give up you must give your children first before you give outsider. Again, he said and contradicted himself by saying that monkey no fit dey walk, make bamboo dey chop. What is the goal? The only reason why Obaseki is being crucified is what you are seeing today. Politics of it is our own, me, myself, and I. If you carry out thorough investigation, you may be shocked that Obaseki family may not be happy with him. Carry out thorough investigation. The immediate family or the extended family of Obaseki may not be happy with it. Do you know why? Because what they expected is, now our brother be governor, more begin chop. He said no. Even me, Osakwinokodi, if not be Edo people, we go be Babiala. If you not hustle for Obaseki government, not say because you be government person, now zero come up for you. Under Obaseki's watch, you will not have a very rich commissioner. When you go check your account, you get 300 million. Not possible. But we never spend how many months for administration. We hear about accusation that led to the removal of the Attorney General of the state, regardless of whether politically motivated or whatsoever. But we are not deaf and we are not blind. We saw a figure that was directly announced as a premise to put an end to the reign of the then Attorney General. And the Attorney General happens to be my brother directly from my maternal area, Urokosa community. So, the point being made is very clear. The only reason why Obaseki is still under attack is that in not the year once he sees a way to, because it is the truth. He said this thing is right. He goes say, now this right thing I must do. Because whether you like it or not, nobody will now come today to hold my shirt to say, "Osa, I'm gonna hold you." What your Obaseki do now? You want who? Even if I made billions under his name, for example, EFCC will not come and ask me. He's the one to bear the brunt. So he needed to take decision that will also save himself from the court of public opinion and from the court of anticipated posterity. So Edo people, we will not turn you against any administration. We do not have such capacity. But I think you have to keep on the watch. You must be determined to know what is truly happening. I want to commend the Edo State Governor, Senator Monday Okpebholo, for the Edo line buses that he brought. When I saw the buses, I was happy. But those buses were white. Edo line buses is supposed to have, just like Big Joe bus, that Big Joe vehicle, but visual vehicle, you see it being engraved. You understand? Yeah, they will write it. Edo line. But what we saw was white vehicle. And when you are reviving an infrastructure such as that, you must also have physical structures being built, including administrative mechanism to be able to manage those vehicles. As we speak, I do not know exactly the status of Edo line right now, because the last time we saw media presence there was some dead vehicle at the side, while some grasses was a little bit taller than those persons who were addressing the media. But regardless, I think there may be results, and we should continue to wait. But please, if we are sincere enough, those buses have, for now, because we've been seeing pictures of government house, they are no longer in government house, and they are not in a Edo line premises. I believe that for the fact that it was a white vehicle, now they have took those vehicles to where they are engraving Edo line on them. So let's wait and see how it goes. So for now, I just want to be laconic and direct to the point, and to also continue to drop facts the way it is. I want to say a very big thank you to all Edo people around the world.
continue to fight for the development of Edo. It's not about me. It's not about you. It's about our collective destiny at a time. Even if you make all the billions, your road no good. Mechanic will collect you inside. But you have good road. Go see. They say the Bonner boy bad Ferrari. The bad is the bad that. Make the con drive. Make the car. Where they for the drive those motor. You can only drive that motor from the part of Lagos and Abuja. If you say you go all the bomber Ferrari, all la loi. All la loi. So please, if you have not shared this video, please share. So for us, we will continue to engage this government on the basis of constructive criticism. We will not insult anybody. We will not fight against anybody. We will only call on government to do what is right at all times. And we will continue to declare kabuto, rejectamental to any form of repression, intimidation, or activity that is repugnant to the development of Edo and to natural justice, equity, and good conscience. Thank you, and bye for now. Osakwe Pudding and crew.
Now we don't hear from Comrade Stanley Osazo Sakweno, let us know what you think for comment section. If you never subscribe to Dan ARG YouTube, try make you subscribe so that make you for the hear all the things where they happen for Nigeria. Make I leave you with this video, make you help us share them. Thank you for watching Dan ARG YouTube.